It's 11 a.m. here in Seoul. I'm Oh Soo-young at the Arirang News Center. We're breaking into our regular programming to bring you a live briefing from the South Korean health authorities on the coronavirus outbreak here in the nation. In just a few moments, we're going to cut into the briefing at the Sejong Government Complex with simultaneous interpretation available for you in English. Now we're going to go into the briefing room where Yoon Tae-oh, Director General of Public Health Policy, will be sharing the latest figures and updates with us on the COVID-19 situation in Korea. So he is going to tell us about the latest number of infection cases, especially with the sudden spurt of cluster infections here in the capital as well. And he will also tell us what kind of developments there are in terms of developing medicines and treatments for the virus and how the government in general is responding to the situation. So he will also update us on some new policy changes regarding quarantines as well. Well, he has taken the podium and it looks like the briefing's just about to begin.
Let us now begin our regular briefing for June 29th, Monday. As of today midnight, we have 30 new local infections and 12 new imported cases. And as of today midnight, the total number of confirmed cases now stands at 12,757. A total of 1,046 people are in quarantine undergoing treatment. The death toll remains unchanged at 282. This morning, the KCDC held a meeting presided over by Health Minister Bang Neung-woo, and we discussed measures of the private sector's measures to extend summer holidays to decrease the concentration of people going on holiday during the same period and so forth. And he said that during the weekend, we also witnessed sporadic infections in the metropolitan area, centering around religious centers as well as small group meetings. And he also said that in particular in Jeollanam-do province, which saw no new cases as of April 1st, is also witnessing new cases right now, which is an alarming development. And he said that we are cooperating with the local municipalities to prepare for a joint quarantine scheme going forward. And during the past 2 weeks, we have witnessed that the new infections in the metropolitan area has decreased slightly compared to the 2 weeks before. However, there are still sporadic infections that are occurring, including venues like small group meetings, which are outside the boundary of the quarantine control by the government. And this has also spread to other regions, including the Chungcheong provinces. And at a time when we witness continuous local infections, we believe that social distancing measures are very crucial to curb the further spread of the virus, and we ask for the participation of the public going forward. And yesterday, the government has released its plans for the phases of distancing measures, and right now is level 1, which is, in other words, described as distancing in daily life. And the aim of this level 1 is to maintain the situation under the quarantine government's control. And in order to do so, we believe that it is very important that the public abides strictly by the quarantine measures and so forth. And in accordance to level 1 of the distancing measures, the government will re-examine our quarantine measures, and we will resume the operation of public multi-use facilities as well as sports stadiums that have less risks of infection. And all of these are possible if we have a high level of trust within the government and the public. And however, this does not mean an easing of our quarantine measures. And as we see increase of local transmissions in the Seoul, Gyeonggi, and Jeollanam-do and the Jeonnam province, the municipalities are exerting their full efforts to curb the virus. In Seoul City, we are also tracing all of the 1900s people who are members of the churches that have an outbreak. And also the Seoul Metropolitan Government has also put in place the inspection of the more than 4,000 club facilities as well as nightlife venues. And it is also going through the inspection and on-site inspection for the high-risk groups. And this will be going forward. And in Gyeonggi-do province during the weekend, the provincial government also carried out intensified quarantine measures inspection for about 2,700 high-risk facilities. And also it carried out inspection for about 1,500 the administrative orders put in place for multi-use facilities, including singing rooms, multi-use facilities like wedding halls, and so forth. And in Incheon, of course, the city is also carrying out full intensified inspection on about 20,000 religious groups. And during the last weekend, it carried out telephone monitoring and on-site inspection for about 1,400 religious facilities. And in Gwangju City as well, it carried out inspection for 140 religious centers, and it also carried out inspection for high-risk facilities, and it also carried out monitoring of the utilization of QR codes for these multi-use facilities. And in Jeollanam-do province, which saw a recent surge in the number of confirmed cases, they agreed to temporarily suspend the offline classes for students, and they also are intensifying their quarantine measures. And the central government is also cooperating and exerting our full efforts to curb the virus. We are also intensifying our quarantine inspection for the QR codes up until 90,000 facilities, so that these systems are fully in place by these high-risk groups. And in high-risk groups, we are also mandating the QR codes entrance for all of the visitors, and we ask the public's participation in this area as well. And nationwide, we have 1,046 people in quarantine undergoing treatment, and to this end, we have assessed that we have sufficient amount of hospital beds and other medical resources available right now. However, in preparation for a possible surge in the number of outbreak going forward, we will plan new life treatment centers in Chungcheong area, and these patients will be administered starting from today. And also today we will have a meeting via online with 33 heads of the local public health centers with the health minister of Korea, and we will also intensify our inspection for these public health centers. And the following are our measures to extend the summer holiday seasons to decrease the concentration of people going on holidays during the same period of time, as well as measures to disperse lunch hours. And the government has released our measures to extend the summer holidays for the public servants, and we are exerting full efforts to decrease the concentration of people going on holiday during the same period of time. And the Labor Ministry is exerting full efforts so that this measure could be also extended to the private sector, and also advising the business establishments to utilize flexible work lunch hours as well. And the Labor Ministry is also intensifying and urging about 19,000 business establishments with over 100 employees to utilize an extended holiday season of starting from early July to September. And as for smaller businesses, we are asking their discretion in deciding the scope of their summer holiday seasons. And in order to decrease the risks of infection during the lunch hours, we will also intensify our measures for this end. And as for the companies have canteens within their own facilities, we also urge these businesses to have flexible lunch hours and a rotation of a lunch hour so that people can enjoy lunch on different hours of time. And also, we are going to advise the companies to utilize different lunch hours for each of the departments. And we believe that these measures will ensure the health of the employees, and we believe that this will also guarantee less economic loss for the business establishments. So we ask for your participation going forward. And we have the monsoon season coming up, and we believe that many people are being fatigued over the lengthened quarantine measures, and we believe that after May, we have found that we have intensified our public to wear masks on public holidays. However, we have had about over 1,000 reportings at the police stations for the breaches of such measures, and we believe that the most effective measures to prohibit the spread of the virus is mask wearing. Therefore, we urge everyone to wear face masks going forward. And as for indoor small group meetings as well as workshops, we believe that these are also prone to infections, and you should also wear face masks at these meetings. And especially if you are over the age of 50, please note that we are seeing an increase of the number of confirmed cases for these age group. So please take particular precautions. And as we saw before in the Daegu and Gyeongbuk region, as well as the surge in the cases globally, if the COVID-19 confirmed cases surge exponentially, it is very difficult for us to take control of the situation. And before we have an effective therapeutics and vaccine against the virus, effective social distancing is the best measure to prevent the outbreak. Thank you very much.
지금부터 질의응답 시간을 가지겠습니다. 배석자분들은 단상.
That was a live briefing from the South Korean health authorities. You just heard that. We just heard from the Public Health Policy Director Yoon Tae-ho that there were 42 new cases of confirmed COVID-19 cases in the country, bringing the accumulated total to 12,757. There were no new deaths, however, meaning that the death toll stands at 282. Well, that wraps up our coverage of this morning's briefing. Thank you for staying with us, and we'll be back shortly with our regular newscast at 12 p.m. Korea time. Bye for now.